And live from the Salt Lake City Sports Complex, it is the return of University of Utah hockey. Right from in a home match here in Salt Lake City, Utah as the Utes take on Weber State University in the annual Hockey Fights Cancer Night in Salt Lake City, Utah. Thank you for joining this broadcast. Bonds Echevarri, Jay Sewell with you for really the first home game for the Utes in a month.
Yeah, the last time we were here, we pulled off a win. But it is really good to be home. It's going to be a fun night. This is the 6th annual Hockey Fights Cancer, and Bridget Bertinoli puts on a fantastic job here. It's just fantastic what she's done for the sport, her family, and what she does for cancer and fighting cancer.
For the Utes, it's really going back to the drawing board here, trying to get another win, and this one against a Division II opponent, but more importantly, an in-state rival. And some, like, you're kind of, coaches always tell you that it's easier to play chasing the team with a target than being the team with a target on the back.
That's correct. And the thing is, we need to keep this streak alive. I don't know the last time. It's been 3, maybe 4 years, actually, since we've lost to a Division II team. Last year we did not at all, but we beat every interstate team for a long time. And I just want them to play direct tonight. I want them to keep it simple. I want to go on the attack right away and bring the puck low and just take the game to them right away, send a message.
Yeah, and for Utah, it's kind of been the road woes have kind of been evident in the way Utah's played. They've taken a couple losses in Las Vegas. They've taken a couple in Alabama, and then they also have taken a couple of losses. Kind of a pseudo home game in Park City against a very good Jamestown team last week.
Yeah, and it's even though it's a kind of that pseudo quasi hometown, the issue you have is it was a dim rink. You're not in the same barn. Your sight lines are the same. The fan base was good, but not like it is here. So I think they're going to be jazzed tonight. I talked to a few of the boys as I came in to the tunnel, and they had their game face on already. There wasn't anybody smiling, just shaking your hand, and they were really serious. There wasn't no joking around. There was no messing around. It was we need this one.
Well, that's not to say that Utah doesn't take their game seriously, but it matters a little bit more when the fan base for Weber State comes down from Ogden to watch his team play, and also really the first home game in a month in front of your own fans, and really the only way they've been able to see that is through the tube.
Yeah, we have Swoop here. We have the Utah cheerleading squad here. We're looking up. It's going to be a fantastic night.
Should be made of note that they are auctioning off the jerseys throughout the game. The game-worn jerseys signed by the players. So, as the game goes along, you might want to put in an auction for a couple players or two. Look, hey, check it out. Even the referees are wearing the pink stripes.
Yeah, they got pink laces, pink stripes. Linesmen are in pink. This team puts it on right. They do a good job for this breast cancer. Really spectacular. And even the Weber State coaching staff is all wearing pink ribbons. It's really nice of them to participate. And
not to diminish the impact that cancer has, but I mean the real reason why we are here is because there's a hockey game, and for the Utes, they're currently 5 games under 500, which is something that we haven't really seen this Utah team under 500 a whole lot.
No, and I've almost had flashbacks in the last couple of games to years ago when the team would come over, players would come over the blue line, shoot the puck would come out of the zone, and everybody's skating back 200 feet. Again, I want them to keep it simple. I want them to keep it, work it low, come over the blue line, go down below the goal line so you can see the entire ice and see your options. It's a simple game. You have one fast, one slow, one high, one low, and that's all we're looking for tonight. Keep it simple. Don't get fancy. Just play a good, hard, physical game. Well,
for Weber State, just 4 years removed from being in this ACHA Division II National Championship tournament, kind of far from that. They are currently 5-1 on the season. So I mean, they're looking to get over 500 as well.
Yeah, and it's always been, this matchup, interstate matchup, has always been tough. You go up into the Weber rink. The Utah squad really actually likes playing up there. They think it's the best ice here in the place.
And this Utah team, of course, it's a home rink for them. The sus is always loud during these home games, and this is something that the players look forward to every year. Is this matchup with the Hockey Fights Cancer Night, the jerseys, the crowd, the fundraising that they do, and it looks like the teams are lined up, and we'll get ready to send it down for the particulars of this game. But, I mean, it goes without saying, this is a highly important matchup for both teams.
It really is, and the WEBER came down from Logan. Looking forward to putting it to us in our own rink, and so we'll see what happens. But I'm putting my bets on the homeboys.
For this Utah team, you don't get a whole lot of opportunities to play against in-state rivals now that you're a Division I team. So, and of course, Utah not playing in the Wasatch tournament this year. So, really, these are really the only opportunities that Utah has to play a Weber State or a Utah State throughout the year.
Yeah, they, it's again, there's a Division I versus Division II, I think, is part of it for the Division II teams, and University of Utah and BYU, we're not going to play that game this year, but programs are going in different directions, so we'll see what happens years from now.
Well, I mean, part of the thing too, if you're Weber State, you feel like you could play at a Division I level, and of course they feel like they have the players to do that. Utah, a Division I team, so a little bit of rivalry here in the fact that Weber State just flats out thinks that they can compete with the Utes.
Well, we actually need to find another Division I, whether Utah State or Weber State, to step up so we can have a travel partner. I think even Division I would be very happy with that.
Well, we'll send it down to the ice as we go for the pregame ceremonies here, and we will go ahead and send it down to the ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will kindly rise and gentlemen remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem.
Broad
And back at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex here, we are just awaiting the ceremonial puck drop for this breast cancer awareness night. Well, not just breast cancer, but cancer awareness. As you know, cancer, of course, not a selector of whom it'll strike. And I'm sure we all know someone who's been affected by cancer. And kind of a good pregame ceremony. We will have the puck drop here coming off in a minute just to finish off these particulars.
How you doing?
And one of the things that the University of Utah does really well each and every year is the Cancer Awareness Night. You know, we do focus on October because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Night, but some of the things that we've seen, especially as of late, and especially in the Pro Sports League, is that they're moving away from just breast cancer alone and just covering cancer as a whole.
Yeah, it's something that's been going on now for a couple of years. You see the players, some of them are wearing purple for all over cancer. Breast cancer is the pink, of course. But you know, the team here got touched by it last year. Jackson Barlocker, number 14, lost his mom to cancer last year. So it moved right into the team locker room last year. So it spares no one.
Yeah, I know we've personally experienced someone very close to us who's not just battled but survived it, or someone who's currently going through the battle with cancer. And we want you to know that you're in our thoughts, and we want you to keep fighting, because you know that's the number one thing. But really quickly, going over the starting lineups for tonight's game. In goal for Weber State University, number 29, Kyle Lane, going in with a 2-4 record, 2.89 goals against average, a .921 save percentage. His starting five is Chance Aquino, and also Jake Weber with Jonathan Kosman and Zane Hobbs in front. Won by Weber State, the opening face-off as we get going in this first period. Played back for Barnes, where he's going to just ream around the boards, and up for Darren Banks, who's now wearing his number 4 jersey as the puck goes to center ice. And very quickly, one quick rush for Weber State, and they have the puck back. Now D-to-D pass. Forecheck there by King. Watching Chance Aquino as he goes behind his own net and off the stick of Kornberg.
This is what we want to see. We want to be able to see the forecheck moving today, back check. We want to see a team hustle, stay in their lanes. We'll see how it goes tonight.
Well, Weber tried to dump it in his own zone, and being rubbed off there was David Barnes. Into the corner play goes, and still there's a play now open to the half boards, kind of taller boards here at the University of Utah. And skated out of the zone. That looked like it was Meyer on that. Up ahead goes Weber State. Warnocker just kind of guided this one towards the net. It was just poked away by Patrick Casper. To the point for Haywood.
Almost caught him in the line change, and then shot on net.
Well, Lieber and I just got that one on net, and that's how this game starts. 18:44 left in this first period. And don't adjust your sets, anyone. That is pink jerseys the Utah are wearing, and pink uniforms the linesmen are wearing.
Yeah, it's actually a nice combination with the black and the nice white helmets. Instead of the red helmets they wore a couple of years ago for this game, and it's nice to see the white out there.
Face-off won by Weber State, but quickly, at the point Utah stopped it. Now Weber State goes into their own zone. So circling back was Dakota Fox. Now picked up there and played behind his own net. Lane Bridges goes. And now Pendle.
D-to-D, yeah, we're missing a few players tonight. Reese Jensen had an outstanding game against Jamestown. Out with a concussion. He got a little roughed up.
And Bridges with a shot blocker away there by the goaltender Lane. Play goes to the half boards, and into the corner we go. Into the corner was Hughes. Nice check there from Utah. That was Hughes on there. Sewell applying the good pressure there, and now back into the own neutral zone. Goes Barnes and tried to just guide this up ahead for Sewell, and it went off a Weber State player. Now Weber State will just dump this where Casper goes behind his own net and plays it. Nice collision there in the corner. And that is Bauman who has it. Bauman being watched here by a couple of Utah players. Now it's West with the puck guided up ahead. I was going to say Julian Cronin, but that'd be incorrect as he graduated. Otto Chow guided that puck up. Now for Belknap into the corner, left it, had to be played by Lane as it was entering his crease area, and just guided up as kind of transitional hockey so far in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of butterflies going on as each team really needs this win, wants this win. So the play is a little erratic right now. You can see people chasing the puck rather than holding their lanes.
Well, just ladle in the offensive zone was Weber State. Now this is a D-to-D pass. As guiding that up was Cody West. Behind his own net goes Gosseris and tried to just ream it around the boards. It was knocked down there by Zane Hobbs. And behind his own net, Utah tries to break this one up. Up ahead was looking for the stick of, looked like Reed Hunter, who just went off for a change. Played back towards center ice, and King applying some pressure up and tries to guide it through. Now up ahead for Kosman.
Yeah, he had a tight squeeze there and didn't make it.
Meany was one of the starting forwards and just tried to get this one on net and play it back. And Gosseris is going to have to go back and circles around his own net.
I'm not sure the last time Gosseris or Goose played the D, so he's going to have to remember the things that he forgot.
Well, David Barnes was trying to get play that puck behind his net, and a good check there as he just pickpockets a Weber State player. Now Barnes up ahead, bounces it for Connor Meany, who entered the zone cleanly. Try to drop it there for Meyer, and now Meyer comes around back for Meany behind his own, behind the Weber State net. Now Meyer in the circle. Pass here, and it is a good screen in front by Banks. And now that's Meyer. Now for Barnes, who was trying to crash it and just shot into a sprawling Weber State player and out of the zone where Utah will have to regroup. Now banked off the boards for Meyer. Meyer tried to stick handle, but had his stick lifted just slightly by Chance Aquino. Now Cornelius back for Barlocker. Barwalker around the boards is going to look for Meyer, and Meyer into the corner. Goes and just left it there, was looking for Birch. Now Weber State the other way. Number 19, Pizarro. Shot here from Casper, looking for the stick of a crashing Fox. And now we're going the other way with Fornelius. Fornelius gaining some speed. Almost had it come off of his tape. And goes to the far side corner. There is Warnocker. So Tyler Pendle will just try to get it back in the zone, and a nice collision there from Birch. And Pendle will go back into his own zone as he's watched there. Give away toward the Weber State team. Back into the corner as goes Pendle. And Lieberknight, kind of a miscommunication there. And Lieberknight finds himself on the inboards. Stuff there, but Casper had that locked down perfectly on the short side. Up ahead for Kudar. Kudar with speed, looking for a shot. And this one was just knifed away. Back on net and on target, but getting his leg on it was a goalkeeper, Kyle Lane.
That's again what we want to see. We want to see them crashing the net and getting a little interference in front of that goalie. Tough to see the puck when you've got bodies right in front of your eyes and you've got to stop that thing coming in and with speed.
Now Sewell just dumps this back in as the D will get a change. Circling behind his own net was Jake Weber. And up, and this, no, it did touch a Utah player, so it negates icing here. As circling behind his own net is James Cahill. Up ahead, now come the Ute trying to break this out of their own zone, and was looking for Chow, but was just behind him and bounced just ahead of him. Now off of Weber State stick, as now they're having an issue. Now they do get it into their offensive zone, but not before being met by a couple of Utah players and back out to the point. Now just dumped back in from the point was Weber. In front of the net, and a save from Casper to keep this netted up at 0-0.
Yeah, there was a Weber State picked up that puck right in the circle, not quite in the slot, but they were ready to. They were the only. Weber was the only one who knew where the puck was, and other than Casper had eyes on it. And, nice stop by Casper.
Face-off win here by Utah as it's still on the face-off dot. Near side to the stick side of Casper. Shot here and fanning on it was Kosman. Into the zone goes Utah. And Barnes decides to play this one back, and a nice stick there from Cody West to stop whatever momentum Weber State would have had on that rush. Now behind the play goes the net. Alex King trying to get this one out of his defensive zone as he just soccers this up ahead for Connor Meany. And this one played by Weber State. DDD pass here, receiving the puck, Tyler Belknap. Now to center ice. Up by the Utah bench goes Weber State. Stick handling there. Looked like it was number 93, Jonathan Kosman. Still circling, and Weber State will get a change.
Went for a nice little skate there in the neutral zone.
And Barnes here as we are going to have icing against Utah.
All right, we're getting wholesale change by both benches. Oh, icing. I'm sorry, icing was called. So Weber's got to keep their men on the ice, and they can't change. So we're ready to drop the puck here, and everybody's lining up on the blocker side of the goalie, just right of the number 29, Weber.
Face-off win here for Weber State as going behind his own net goes the D, and now clearing out of the zone here for Tristan Lieberknight. Just feigned on the pass there and just guided up and taking a nice hit there from Chance Aquino was Birch. This goes back where Lieberknight will have to skate and just play at his own corner. And back for Pendle.
When you're a forward and you see a person come through the neutral zone with your head down like Birch did, that is just asking for it.
Skate with your head up as Fornelius stick handling, doing a good job there. Had his stick lifted and so far doing a good job of evading. Shot here and having some trouble, but covering it up was Kyle Lane.
Yeah, that came right in, hit him in the chest, and bounced right out in front of him, and then he had to get his trapper on it.
So a good scoring opportunity there for the Utes. As the shot total right now is 6-2 in favor of the Utes.
Yeah, I think they've had a couple of really good shifts here, and again, they're doing a little better matching up. That's something you like to see when they come off the bench, have a little communication, mark your player.
Well, Bridges tried to evade a hit now. Activating from the point was Cahill as he was bumped into by Zach Tollett. Played back, now skating out is Hughes. Took a hit there, he was looking for something in the slot, but no Utah player there. This one is ladled out of the zone, and one in the race for icing was Weber State. That one went into the netting as it took a couple of weird hops.
Yeah, there was a little speed there by Weber. I like what I saw there. Those guys came flying down the left side to the goalie's right, came into the circle, nice shot on net, and looking for that rebound.
Well, Casper coming in, we went over Weber State's goalie. Casper coming in with a 3-8 record, 480 goals against average, and a 869 save percentage on the year. As playing behind his own net goes David Barnes. Trying to get used to this again. We don't see the pink we only see the pink jerseys once a year, so just trying to adjust there. As now this one is just dumped in, and King goes and chases it. Good job to keep the puck in the zone so far, but Weber State recovers and just gets it out of the zone. Right now, Utah with a lot of pressure so far early in this first period.
Yeah, they just need that bounce. They've had the shots on net. Oh, right through the crease.
Was looking for Banks. It looked a little bit like the give and go. Now back for Brian Martinez, who was looking for his teammate there in Joel Johnson. Off of skating into a dangerous area if you're the Utes, and Barnes doing a good job getting to the puck and just getting it out of the zone, and now skating it through as he was rubbed off there, and the Utes will get a fire wagon change. Now up here for Weber State goes Brian Martinez. Play is onside as Sewell was watching him and got his stick on him a couple of times. Now back up for Tyler Pendle. 2-on-2 as Pendle with speed. Looking for Chow, finds him, backhand wide of the net.
That was a beautiful play. Everybody had their heads up. They were looking for the move. Sewell avoided a check there.
Reed and Hunter on the forecheck here, trying to keep the pressure alive for the Utes, and circling around goes Weber State. Now up, it's still in the offensive zone where Sewell doing a good job there, just getting back deep on the end boards. D change for the Utes as this one's back for Sewell, who gloves it down. Plays it back for James Cahill. Up ahead for Chow. Chow, Lieberknight, and Lieberknight had this one whacked off of his stick, but Utah with a lot of puck possession here earlier in the first.
Yeah, this is what we hoped, that they would hang on and have a little puck possession and bring that puck deep. That time they did. They played below the circles, which is just where we want to see them.
Lakota Coleman was on there. A shot here looking for a slot. There was a backside open for Weber State if they got it there and completed it. Now Fornelius deking the defender out of his skates there. Fornelius looking for the stick of Colby Birch and almost had him. Now goes Meyer to D. Gosseris shoots this into the skates of Bauman. Now goes deep behind his own net. Looking for it was Birch. Up ahead and just getting into the slot was Cahill as Weber State stretch pass denied and gloved down there by Gosseris.
Yeah, they're trying to sneak a person behind the Utah defense, and actually it was pretty effective. Everybody was puck watching again, and nobody was keeping track of where.
Cornelius on his tape had that blocked by Larry Bauman, and a stoppage as Kyle Lane had seen enough.
I'm guessing that when Forney gets back to the bench, coaches are going to say you got to shoot that. You had the angle, and you tried the pass, but better percentage there would for him to take a shot on net.
Oh, Bridges, and it's a face-off win for Weber State. One of the things that you might have noticed so far is that Weber State won in the face-off, although Utah shot here goes wide of the net by Kudar, west from his own point. Thought about just sending it on net and just dropped it off for Hughes. Hughes squeaking by a couple of Weber State defenders. Now Hughes skating through a couple of players and just blows a tire there on the half boards.
You step on the puck and it is awful slippery.
Late 18 left, as you can see.
So we have Lieberknight looking for a stick.
Back had to go to the scoring area to get that back. And Alex King had his stick tied on that faceoff. Just a dump here as Casper played it. Kind of hopped, weird bounce up on the pads, and Wisely just covers up as it took a weird hop off of his stick.
We're having a little discussion down there. It's amazing how cool and calm Casper is. last year during one of the games, they had the music going and he was dancing in his crease. It's just he has to be in a different zone, and many times he is.
Kind of found himself in a precarious position. We all thought that Chris Como was going to be the starter this year, and just some academic reasons, just not able to play. And Patrick Casper, the starting goaltender, has a heavy hit there, rubbing off the puck. I believe that was Connor Meany. And Banks had the puck roll on him a little bit as he was trying to carry it out of his zone. Lieberknight now with it. Shot here into the logo and handled by Lane to stop that scoring opportunity for the Utes.
Yeah, I would say they're trying to keep the puck down low into the circles, and that's what we didn't see in the last couple of games. Again, they were coming over the blue line and shooting the puck, and this is good hockey. They're starting to get the butterflies out after a couple shifts.
Legato Chow way early on the drop as getting kicked out is Sewell because of it. Face-off win here by Chow. Well, I guess you get your center kicked out, but you go win the face-off. Shot here, gloved by Casper. And nonchalantly plays with the puck.
Yeah, I think he actually had a sort of in his trapper and up against his pads, his left pad, just to make sure that nobody knocked it away from him and got a rebound.
It'll be a face-off here in the Utes D zone. And it looked like it went off the stick of Meyer. Cornelius now up and just gets this up to Meyer, who breaks it out. Meyer through a couple of Wildcat defenders. Back for Barnes, who tried to get it on net and found the stick of a Weber State player. Now back for West. Into the zone he goes, and going to play this is Weber to his line mate Aquino. Up ahead, gloved and still onside is Barnes, and Barnes is a tough guy to bring down. Dakota Fox kind of found out. David Barnes 6'0", Dakota Fox 5'10", so 2 inches. Shot here lost by Lane and sticked away as Birch with a golden opportunity. Giveaway here, Lieberknight trying to soccer it to his stick, and now goes Weber State. Fan on that shot attempt there is Weber State as Fornelius plays his up ahead, and Pindle will play this off the ref as they get a change.
Yeah, you can tell both sides have woken up a little bit and they're trying to play a little bit more physical game.
Play here right in front of us, in front of the scoring areas, is Pindle and Hughes, and joining that is Kudar. Now for Keno, up ahead for his teammate there as he's just ran into rather rudely by Lieberknight.
Yeah, I'm sure Lieberknight has his number now on that Weber bench written down in somewhere in the...
On that glove down, and Pindle will go behind his own net as Weber State gets a change.
As high as that puck was, it's awful nice to have a white ceiling and be able to see that puck. I can't imagine what happened if it would go up. Those lob shots going up into the black ceiling would be awful hard.
Something that a lot of NHL players might have to deal with, and shot here from neutral ice. Weber State just not getting any opportunities from their own offensive zone. Utah doing a good job suffocating things there.
Yeah, there's always been a debate whether the goalie should wear white pads or some of them wear darker black pads, and I've always been in favor of the white because anything that's black you need to cover up. And white skates and white pads are the way I would go, so if I saw anything black, I'd pounce on it.
Weber State iced the puck with 5:14 left in this first period. Fans, don't forget you can bid on the jerseys that these Utah players are wearing tonight. The proceeds will go to raise the breast cancer awareness firm and just raise cancer awareness. And these are some pretty sweet jerseys, as David Barnes' shot was just knocked by a host of players in front of the net.
Yeah, so far, the refs have sort of swallowed their whistles. I've seen a hit from behind, slashing. I've seen some aggressive play, but they're letting them go.
Well, so far, good goaltending on both sides here, as the score still 0-0 with 4:55 left. Shots kind of creeping back to even as it's 10-7 in favor of Utah.
Yeah, I think Utah has been moving the puck much more back and forth low rather than coming into the slot. And that's something they'll probably talk about in between periods.
Face-off win for the Utes, and just back deep goes the puck in. The Utes. Lieberknight was wide open looking for a slapper, but just taking the shot there was, I believe that was that Colby Birch? Yep, it was.
Yep. And as you can see, these lines, just the way they're playing, these lines have never been together before. Other than the top line, the second, third, and fourth line, and the D partners are, with all the injuries they had in the last game.
Slotted off the pad! Went the shot!
Yeah, well, there was that retribution on Lieberknight. They took him, number 93, took him down to the ice. Like I said, he's a marked man after that heavy hit.
Pendle from the blue line, off the post with the shot!
Goalie never saw it.
Pendle again! Back to Pendle. Now to Lieberknight as he's watched there. Gets it to the slot for Cornelius, but he couldn't get it through. Now goes Weber State. Stick handle there. And it's in front of the net still. It's loose right in front of the crease. And somehow it didn't go in. Now back to the point for Aquino. For Weber. Weber a shot. And Casper does get it as Lieberknight involved with Kosman. And Jay, you called it. It was, Lieberknight involved in some post-whistle action.
Yeah, Kosman was throwing his weight around all up and down the ice. He wants his piece of retribution on everybody.
But man, what a scoring opportunity for the Utes.
I don't know how that puck didn't go in front of Casper. All it did is ping pong around at least 8 pairs of skates and 4 sticks. It never found the goal.
Face-off win here for the Utes. Out goes Connor Meany. He had a weave between both the ref and a Weber State player. And still at the inboards, now played by Tollett. And Banks in front was looking for a Utah player in the slot, but no one there, as West will just get this right back and into their own offensive zone off a couple of Weber State players.
Again, that's good coaching when you get to the point where your back is to the puck, it's up against the wall, just put it on center. You never know if you've got a player there or not, so just put it in center. Turnover
here, backhand attempt by Meany. It was into the skates of a Weber State player, and now goes Tollett. Tollett goes into the bench, and I don't know, maybe looking for one of the Utah dancers on the far side. Maybe trying to score a date, put his number on the puck, send it in the stands.
Yeah, it's remember the Miracle on Ice where they went to, I don't know, it was Finland or
I think it was Norway.
Norway, and all the boys on the bench are scamming the girls in the crowd, and they ended up paying heavily for that after the game was over.
Well, we do want to thank the Utah Spirit team for showing up and being a part of the festivities and the awareness here. Swoop was here, as were the cheerleaders and the dancers. They still are here, helping raise some funds for charity. Face-off win for Weber State, and this was trying to knife it down was Dakota Fox, and just went off of his stick. Now played for Weber State back in their own zone, and Kudar gloved it down. And good stick save there by, looks like Lane. One of the things that we're kind of used to seeing with Division II hockey, a lot of stretch passes. Shot here went off the, looks like it went off the pad of Patrick Casper. Into the corner goes Gosseris and played it back behind his own net for Cahill. Around the boards we go for Cahill, and it was looking for Bridges on the breakout, but just slapped back there by Coleman. Up ahead looking for Hughes' stick, and just outside the outstretched stick of his own attempt. Now back into the offensive zone as it was banked off the boards and kind of kicked up there by Utah player. Hughes sends this wide of the net and out of the zone as Lieberknight will just get this back as it's an offside. We might have too many men on the ice.
That's what it looks like. Someone's headed the box. Let's see who they put it in.
Well, coming off the ice, maybe he did get hit by the puck in there. It looks like Sewell who's coming off.
Oh, that's
well, Kudar's coming off to serve the penalty.
So Colby Birch, who headed into the locker room holding his cheek, We hope he has all his chiclets.
Well, he's under good staff here, good medical staff to make sure he's doing all right. Well, power play here. It's a power play for Weber State as the Utes were caught with too many men on the ice.
Again, I think it's a fact of one, they're anxious, and two, all of these lineups are completely different than we've seen through the first half of the season just because of the injuries.
And shot here goes wide of the net from the point, and the rebound shot goes well over and out of the zone. And playing back there is Kapanos. Fornelius and Kapanos plays it back for his D. That is Jake Weber. Now for Kapanos again and try to get this up, but no Weber State Wildcats there as this one's up for Fornelius.
They're actually going to
shorthanded rush. Was looking for that crossbar and a blocker save there by the goaltender Kyle Lane.
This is interesting. They're completely going on offense on the being shorthanded. It's a good strategy.
Well, if you can score being a man down, I'm sure Brett Hurst will always take that. But here, doing a good job with 50 seconds left on this.
Well, they're taking advantage of Weber. Weber keeps staying into their defensive zone. Like right now, they've got 3 guys back there, 4 guys back in the zone. Nobody's up ice.
Well, now Weber State with speed in the zone goes Zane Hobbs. Hobbs around the net now to the point for Martinez. Breakaway opportunity here, shorthanded goes King. King with speed. King backhand, and it didn't go in. My goodness, what a bonanza!
Gloves are still on, so no one's been fighting. King might have a penalty here.
Well, the big question is, how did it not go in, and what an even better save by Kyle Lane.
Kyle was so patient. He knew that King was going to make several moves to try and geek him. Never happened.
Well, 20 seconds left on the penalty kill for too many men. And I guess this is the penalty kill that you want if you're Utah.
Yeah, if you play it in the offensive zone the entire time, that's actually a pretty good penalty kill. But
well, the question is, how come they can't do it 5-on-5?
You know, I've been watching this club for 5 years, and a 4-on-4 always feels like a power play for the other team. I don't know what the back-off strategy is, but it always seems to have gone that way.
Well, the Utes getting their shorthanded opportunities here, even though it was a face-off win for Weber State. And being kind of rubbed off there was Kapanos. Now goes Barnes the other way as it is down on the end boards already, where Lane will just leave it for his defenseman.
Clock's winding down here.
Up ahead, and Weber State, well, it was icing, but winning the race there was number 18. That's Coleman. Well, back the other way as the period expires, and we'll go into the first dressing room with the score tied at 0. And well, I mean, if you're Utah, you got to be happy with the effort with what they gave, and kind of a lot of pressure here from the Utes early.
Yeah, the shots on goal, 15 in favor of skating Utes, and Wildcats 10. It's a spirited contest, and you could tell that the first couple of shifts, a lot of gripping of the stick. Everybody wanted it, so it's a little disarray, but nice setup now. I think the Utes feel that they can take this game.
Absolutely. We'll go in the first intermission with the score knotted up at 0. We'll be back in 18 minutes with the second period and possibly some intermission entertainment.
As soon as we get everybody off the ice here, North entrance, northwest entrance, sorry. Also, the concession stand is open up there right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come out here on the ice. We got our contestant here, Ms. Breeze Porter. We're going to give her one warm-up shot from center ice. We got that there. Do you want to get that there? All right, we're going to give her a warm-up shot here. This is for a hoodie. Okay, we're aiming at the goal. I know you're a goalie, so you're supposed to stop these pucks coming at you. So, I'm going to give you one more shot here. Oh! Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we are not giving away a hoodie. But remember, at all home games, we're going to start doing this. Round of applause for Priest there.
All right, well, first intermission here, 13 minutes left. Shot totals for the first period, 17 for Utah and 10 for Weber State. And we're joined here in the broadcast booth with Sean Monnier, who is the director of sport clubs here at the University of Utah. So you work directly with the University of Utah. Just want to thank you for coming on a short notice.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I mean, so far your experience working with Utah hockey, I mean, kind of coming in and seeing a Division I hockey program. I guess your thoughts so far, just coming in and seeing this team play.
Yeah, just started with the clubs program out here in June, and this hockey club is something else. They really got it all together. They're really a role model for all of our other clubs. We've got about 24 sport clubs in the university right now. Yeah, just learning how hockey has gotten to the point where they are, and hopefully we can continue that success into the future.
Well, kind of the I guess not really big news, but I know a direction that this program's looking forward to is I know a lot of sport clubs that you have there, they are a multiple gender type sport, like with men's and women's lacrosse being one of them. And kind of a general direction that maybe this Utah hockey team is kind of like aimed towards every once in a while. I know there's a rumor going around that the Pac-12 schools are trying to get women's hockey to become a club sport. Any word on that, or something that you're looking forward to trying to build? I know you have an intense hockey background.
Right. Grew up in Minnesota, so it's always fun to come out west here. I think hockey's growing out west, and I think a women's program within the club. Within club sports would be a great way to expand the sport out here and bring a little bit of home out here in the game.
But yeah, I mean, like growing up in Minnesota and being a part of that culture, and seeing and dealing with what you have here at the University of Utah, like what are some of the similarities that you kind of see? I know Minnesota, big hockey state, Duluth, U of M, some of the big programs that are out there.
Yeah, it's great coming out here and just seeing that that hockey culture is here. And I do think it is growing, and I think in the next couple of years here, hopefully we can fill this place up a little bit more and maybe see an expansion or two.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your experience working with hockey, like, how much fun has it been? I know it's only been a couple of months,
sure,
being a sport club director, but it's kind of nice to have someone out here and introduce you to, or I guess like under the program. Hockey's one of the big programs, of course. Lacrosse another one.
Yeah, it's been great. Had an opportunity to intern with a couple NAHL teams, and I hope to help this hockey program as much as I can. And I really want to see these guys get to the point where they're playing the Gophers, they're playing the Bulldogs. I think that'd be a hoot. Really.
Kind of play instead of playing ACHA, maybe moving up. Yeah, that would. I'm sure a lot of the Utah hockey fans would love to see that. I mean, of course. Lacrosse was one of the big news that was announced in July, that they were going to be moving out of the club ranks and into a scholarship type rank. I mean, and your experience working with them, I know is kind of like a transitional period. But what's your role with lacrosse, like trying to transition them over to?
Just working with them in this transition. We're kind of the liaison between the clubs and athletics. We're all working together to make sure this transition is smooth, and if there needs to be one in the future, we'll keep our notes, and that way it'll be easier.
Kind of exciting times. You jump in, you have one program moving to the NCAA, another program that's reached the top level of club sports, and of course another club program that's been nationally prominent in rugby. Yep. Another one that you work with. So I mean, you kind of have your hands full with a lot of these club sport programs.
Yeah, they keep me busy, but no, they're all good. Students are great. We have student officers who help out, and then we have our coaches who are all great. They all just want to see these kids improve and get to that high level of competition. I
guess someone that's like also listening and thinking about playing club hockey out in Utah, and like you talked about the leadership positions. I guess like what's the main difference that you do with like, of course, a program that's moving toward athletics to like a sport club program that you see with hockey? I mean, it's more student driven.
Yep. So when you get to that D1, that varsity level sport, the students become their focus is more on playing. Where in the sport club program, they're really running the show in a lot of these programs. So that's really cool to see them take on those leadership roles, not only on the ice or on the field, but also out in the room where they're meeting with me, they're meeting with other figureheads in the leadership. So
yeah, I guess like another thing, like for someone coming out here, like what do you think like some of the benefits are of playing this club sport program, and something at a high level here at the University of Utah?
Just that competitive spirit. You don't get that if we don't have a D1 hockey team at the varsity level. At least we get the kids out here competing and showing on a national level that here in Utah we are a hockey state.
A hockey, yeah.
Somewhere. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, thanks for joining us, and appreciate the time and just kind of throwing you on the mic,
hey,
man.
Anything for you, boss.
Sean Monnier, the club sport director here at the University of Utah. Again, the score is 0-0 after one. And we just want to thank you for joining us for this intermission halftime show. And, well, I guess not really halftime, but intermission show. But we thank you for joining us. We'll be back with the second period in a couple of minutes. Back here in Salt Lake City as we are getting ready for the second period here at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex. Kind of to sum up the first period, it was, in a way, it felt like it was mostly Utah through that.
Yeah, I think if between periods, what I would ask the team for Utah is to work the puck down low, get traffic in front. Number 29, Kyle Lane, the goalie for Weber State, he's been able to see almost all the shots. And then for Weber, same thing. They got to work the puck up the side versus trying to come up the middle. They've had no success trying to come up the middle. Set it up and then start going side to side to get Casper moving side to side. We got 0-0 score, 17-10 shots on goal. It's only been one penalty, and it's actually been a bench minor. It hasn't even been a player infraction.
Yeah, a couple of things. We talked about this during the intermission. We actually did get a shot of what we thought was a goal from up here. It turned out to be a goal on the ice based off the pictures, but again, no replay. This is old school hockey where if the ref doesn't see it, it didn't go in.
Yeah, if the ref doesn't see it, it never happened. If a tree falls in the woods, he's not going to hear it.
Isn't the saying goes if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, did it fall?
The ref's over here. He can't hear it because he's not in the woods.
He's in the ice rink, I guess.
He's in the ice rink with no trees.
All right. Well, 70-10 shots in favor of the Utes as we get ready for second period action. And we'll get ready to go. Face-off win here goes to Barnes for the Utes and just kind of glided off of the stick. And Westall go back into his own D zone to play it. But some of the things you want to see in the second period here, Jay?
Again, I want to see them try and come up the sides and then start working the puck down low and get it moving side to side. I think they've given a free line of sight to the goalie, and so we'll see what we can do to get a little traffic up front.
Well, up ahead here goes David Barnes looking for the stick and finding the stick and into the seating area. Or I guess it bounced back, but
I think it bounced off Sewell's noggin over there. He put his hand up to his head like, hey, it just missed me. And Slaw put his trapper right over his head when he saw it coming. He can cover his whole face with that trapper.
I heard that Sewell kid kind of has a hard head.
Yeah, he's never wrong.
most 20-year-old kids aren't wrong, right?
Well, he grew up being a goalie, and it was the perfect spot for him because it was never his fault.
We go ahead, Utah into their own offensive zone. Shot here, or in on the shot was Meyer. Now we'll go the other way, finding the stick there of number 22, Dakota Fox. Now the other way, shot here, easily gloved down by Patrick Casper with 59 seconds gone in this second period. We'll get that graphic change as we hopefully move on to the period. You might have noticed the new graphics here, something that we've been kind of working on, and we've kind of been in the dark ages when it comes to graphic-wise the past couple of games.
Yeah, we're one piece of equipment at a time. This time was software and a new tripod to help the camera. And next we'll be working on trying to get. That was interesting. That was a win by number 23.
That's Hughes. Yeah, it looked like Hughes won the race for icing, but saying no, we're the linesmen on it. Kind of back on home ice too. Ice that the Utes are used to skating on. Warmer temperatures here in Salt Lake than we've seen in Park City last weekend.
Park City was awful chilly. I never took my coat off for the entire 2 games.
Face-off win here goes back to Braxton Haywood, who just tried to get into the slot area. Now recovering the puck there, Martinez. Back as Cahill's bumped in there and ran into by Joel Johnson. Into the corner play goes as also joining kind of the corner play. Now back for number 16 in Warnocker, and he's just ran into there by Hughes. Into the corner play goes Simpson. Now kind of a weak shot there. Might have got a Utah stick as the Utes will get this one out of the zone, but not before it finds the stick of Warnocker, who just dumped it back in where Cahill plays it. Cahill now up ahead, banks it off the glass, and the Utes will get a change here. Long change in the second period. 2 minutes gone. And played back into the zone as the Utes are offsides, and Otto Chow has to get onside. Now Weber State where the puck goes.
That sailed on him.
Yep.
That just you get it down and you flick that wrist a little too much, put a little too much pressure on that down hand, and off it went. I'm not sure that's what Lakota wanted to do, but the stick came out, or the puck came out, I should say.
So face off to the glove side of Patrick Casper, who's seen one shot this period in the 2 minutes and 7 seconds, and not sure what happened here, but getting kicked out of the circle was Kapanos. Now the Kapanos had his stick tied. Opportunity here, Casper, save on the shot from Larry Bauman. Looks like he caught the right crest of that ribbon on Patrick Casper's chest.
We'll change up the forwards here for Utah. Weber's going to keep their same group out on the ice.
And Meyer in the face-off circle for Utah. And went here by Weber State. Was thinking about giving it back was Bauman, and that was just chopped off of his stick. Now Fornelius was trying to kind of settle that puck down before he brought it into the zone. DD pass now up for Bauman into his offensive zone and off the leg of West.
Yeah, for Weber, when they have a 3-on-2, you've got to get those defensemen pushed back. They didn't do that. The third guy took his time getting into the zone, but if you get 3, you can get those defensive guys to move much further back than they want to.
I was looking for Meyer, but found the shaft of Weber State player, went off the crossbar.
Off the heel of Casper's trapper and right in the right up and over the bar.
Possession here for the Utes. Into the corner it goes. Now Birch with speed, a shot, and glove save here from Kyle Lane, who saved all 17 shots in the first period, and the one shot he's seen now in the second.
Yeah, again, if Utah can try and get some traffic in front there, everything that's come Kyle's way, he's been able to see.
Well, captain here, Alex King in the face-off circle, going to take this for the Utes. And King does win the face-off to Pendle. Leading passes, fanning the shot was Lieberknight. Looks like it probably went off the heel of his stick. There's Blade, now King into the corner, back for Lieberknight. Lieberknight will backhand this one into the glove of Kyle Lane, who felt that Banks was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, again, in the last few weeks, we have not seen the melee that we're usually seeing around the puck. I think that might be something that Utah's working on, to just walk away and save it for the scoreboard.
Trying to get it up was King, and getting it out of the zone is Kornberg. Utes get it back in, and shot here to open net, goal for Darren Banks.
I have no idea where Kyle went. I don't know why he went behind the goalie, but he was nowhere near that puck. He was actually behind the net and open net, completely open net.
Well, it's the third goal of the year for Banks, and yeah, I kind of agree with you, Jay. I don't know what was going on there. That was a bizarre play to me.
I don't know if he thought he could make a play on the puck back there, but the puck wasn't back there. It was actually 30 feet in front of him.
Well, it doesn't go in as an open net because Kyle Lane is technically the goalkeeper still, but it was a open net goal nonetheless.
It was interesting when they were in the offensive zone there, the type of face-off they were trying to take. They moving forward rather than moving back and setting up. That's an interesting way to take a face-off. All 3 forwards move forward on the face-off in the circle.
Well, led to an opportunity here. Now the Utes again. Now that's Bridges now playing it back. Shot here, wide of the net. Now back for Gosseris. Gosseris' shot finding traffic in front of the net. Now goes Cahill from the point.
Weaver's on their heels. They're a little nervous now.
Gosser's gloving it down and just shooting it off the mask of, looked like number 81, Zach Tollett. We did find Cody Birch. Cody Birch, he needed repairs during the intermission. And it just looked like that, you said the cage probably got him and it opened him up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He was holding his left cheek with his glove, and we got a penalty coming up on Weber.
So it's going to be a hook against Weber State, and that'll put the Utes on the power play. The last time when their special teams came out, they almost got a goal shorthanded.
Now Weber's trying to find which box to go into. There you go, son.
But as I mentioned, that is Chance Aquino, who's going to get called for hooking at 15. Or I guess it's 4:30 or 4:44 of the second period.
We haven't seen that in very many games where the Utes were able to put the team on their heels, and he ended up taking a penalty to try and slow the thing down. It's probably a good penalty to take.
Face-off win here, and Lane didn't really see it until it was past him. Now West from the blue line to Meany. Was looking for King, who was in the slot.
Yeah, just looking for that bank pass.
Now Meany into the circle for King, and try to kind of jam it home was King, and West will just go D to D for Meany. Now Meany into his offensive zone, back for West.
Yeah, I'm not sure Joel Johnson realizes he's never going to catch West.
Casper gets this down as Weber State will get a chance for the penalty kill with 1:15 left on the hooking minor to Chance Aquino. Now Gosseris Bridges. I saw the 2, I didn't see the 1.
Yeah, on these jerseys, the numbers on the sleeves are a bit lower. They're not up high, so they're right on their elbow, so hard to pick up the numbers sometimes.
Now Meany for West. From Meyer, back to West. Shot here, heavy traffic in front, still loose, and it sails down below the goal line where Fornelius plays it. Had a stick handle away up to the blue line. Now for West.
West, a no-look pass.
To Meany, back to West, and it got by a stick with 30 seconds left.
It's like that wide receiver taking his eye off the ball. You could already see he wanted to put that over into the far corner.
Well, an off-target pass here that Casper's going to have to knock down and then decide where to play it as a Weber State player was applying some pressure. Meyer will just circle back behind his own net and get the breakout going for the Utes. Way back for Liebernight, who, if I heard correctly, was an assister on the Darren Banks goal. Meyer rubbed off there at the half boards, back for Liebernight, who had to play way far back because Aquino was there, and Aquino applying a check and maybe another hook there. But Meyer plays it around for the boards and was almost knifed down there. Looks like that was Pizarro who was applying the pressure. Meyer rubbed off there by Tollett. Now Liebernight with a puck, just getting up ahead, was looking for Birch, who's back on the ice after getting repairs. Now Chow. Nice pass there as Sewell looking for Birch.
A little spinorama backhand.
We are going to have a penalty here, and it's going to be against Utah. And, well, I don't know if that should probably earn him a penalty.
Hey, take the ball.
Well, kind of an unneeded penalty there from Pizarro, but we know for sure going to the box is Otto Chow.
Slash.
Well, I guess it won't be 4-on-4. I guess, no, I don't write the rule books or interpret anything, but that was definitely extracurricular on Alex Pizarro's part.
King's pretty upset now too because the ref would not talk to him. He literally shrugged him off and said, "Get back to the circle." And King's not going to do that. He went right back after the ref to get an explanation.
Well, King also does have that right, being listed as one of the captains on the team.
He certainly does. When he wants to talk to the ref should acknowledge that. It's not like it's a debate as whether Otto should be in the box or not. The debate is whether the other player, the instigator rule, should come into play when the second player jumped in for Weber.
Well, there's no doubt that Pizarro kind of took Chow down exceptionally late, but I'm not one to judge or write the evaluations for these officials, but this one's played back for Meyer. Shot here goes off, blocker save from Lane to keep this a 1-goal game, and immediately on this penalty kill, the Utes go on the offensive. Now stretch pass here, and having to play it was Lane, and almost dangerously, there was, I believe that was Barnes who was on the pressure there. Now King for Banks, and Banks gets reined into the boards. Now King did not get this one out. Shot here, and just waffle boarded away by Patrick Casper. Behind the net goes Johnson, and this one is iced the full length with 1:10 left in the penalty kill.
Utes are very aggressive today on that penalty kill. They have had exceptional shots on the short-handed.
Well, I think one of the things we're seeing is that you can probably counterattack just because of the amount of space that Weber State's giving you. Now back here for Weber. Weber from the logo, blockered away by Casper. Maybe sticked away as well, too.
Yeah, Casper really aggressive. He came out 2 feet in front of the paint.
Now back down below. Now back for Weber. Weber thought about the shot, was looking for the stick of Pizarro. And now chasing the puck is Kosman.
I'm not sure what the Weber's doing on this power play with 4 guys on one side of the ice. The Utah players, 3 of them were standing around like, well, what's going on? What should we be doing?
Well, 20 seconds left, and we go 15, and again, dangerously playing that was Lane. Now Lieberknight does get back, and well, I don't know if it went off Lieberknight or if Casper got the shot there, but now coming back, now goes the Utes. That's Birch. Birch had it come off his stick just slightly, but doing a recover there is Lieberknight, and he'll have to go back as Chow comes out of the box, had to stay on the ice just because of the opportunity that might have presented itself. Now Chow goes back for Lieberknight, and Lieberknight will wait for the rest of this line to change. Oh,
getting a little frustrated out there for Weber. They're taking some shots up behind the plate.
Well, going as Aquino there, sidestepping the defender was Tollett. Tollett with speed, giving an elbow there and going awkwardly in the boards was a Utah defender. It looked like Pendle as he's going to come off for repairs. And it does go in. And Weber State has tied this game up.
That's again why we say get traffic in front of the net. That's with all those sticks and skates, that's what happens. So it's technically not a power play goal.
But it did result off the penalty kill. So, I mean, the penalty that turns over into a goal to go either way.
There was 5-on-4 there with Pendle having to go off for repairs.
So 1-1 the score. We'll get the goal on the stats coming in the intermission. And now King face-off win here for the Utes. Back to West, and now coming up to play. This was Barnes, who's looking for Alex King. Now back the other way. Play goes in the corners as the puck goes into the stands with 9:39 left. There goes a race. Always interesting who's going to end up with a puck.
Well, we'll see how the Utes respond. That's what we're looking for, a good response.
Well, in the face-off circle here is Hobbs for Weber State, as coming in early encroaching was Kornberg. Around the boards we go, and just back out, and good block there by West. Now one of the corner play goes, West and Kornberg. Joining it was Meyer for the Utes, and still in the corner. Now back, joining that was Kosman. Up and over everyone, and just off the corner goes the puck, and Gosseris will cover it for the Utes as Gosseris kind of was turned around, and we are going to have a penalty here.
Holding the stick, or is that?
Well, it's a cross check against Gosseris.
I'm not sure how he could cross-check somebody at that angle, but that's what they're going to call.
Well, I did see the cross check after the play went away, but I kind of do think that there might have been a hook or something in there, because you don't naturally get turned 180 when you're trying to skate one way. I'm not a physics major or anything, but
well, this is Brett's nightmare playing out, taking penalties in the second period.
Yeah, this is something that he knows this team needs to work on, is that second period, staying out of the penalty box. This one is, well, deflected off the stick of King, and now going back to play this is Jake Weber.
Here we go again with the full court press by Utah. Always like to see that, be aggressive.
I think one of the things we're seeing too is, like, for the most part, Utah's just completely outskating Weber State.
It's a faster team. It's definitely a faster
And we're going to have a penalty here, as that was just kind of an unnecessary trip.
It drives coaches absolutely wild when you take a 200 feet away from your net in the offensive zone. There's absolutely no reason to take that penalty. There's no scoring chance happening. Why do you need to take that?
So we're going to go 4-on-4 for the next minute 28. And we'll leave the Utes with a 32-second power play once things conclude.
Again, we talked about Brett's nightmare about penalty in the second period. This is the announcer's nightmare, 4-on-4, when the Utes always act like it's a power play for the other team. We back up, back up, back up.
Well, immediately getting kicked out of the circle is Troy Kwanberg. Face-off win here, and having to play this way back is Barnes, as that is Kornberg, who's going to watch him now just off the stick and cut. Well, I thought he was going to glove it down was Casper, but it hopped over his glove. And, well, I'm not going to say anything about that, but that was definitely late, but the way that this game is gone.
Well, you know, I understand that, but Chance had no business hanging over the goalie like that, and that's what's going to happen. Those defensive men are going to move you out.
Well, Cody West there trying to sort things out with the referee.
He's just telling him, I'm protecting my goalie. It's part of the unwritten rules of hockey.
We're not going to talk about the unwritten rules of sports. That's a that's a whole other can of worms.
Oh yeah, baseball's got to be the king of that.
Oh man, I grew up playing that my whole life, and tell you what, man, there's a lot of unwritten rules, and let's call them what they are. They're more traditions and etiquette is what it is.
Yep.
Shot here from Barnes, blockered away. And Barnes was going to try to keep this one in the zone, and he's just going to circle back. I think he was looking for West, but it was a little bit off, and Meyer wasn't sure where it was going, so this one's just played back. No icing here as there's 45 seconds left in the Gosser's cross check. Good save there, as getting stretched out there was Patrick Casper. Puck right in front of the Utah penalty box as Fornelius comes in. Fornelius was trying to stick handle away here, and he's just running the boards where Meyer was playing it. Now Lieberknight from the blue line just sends it right back in, and traffic in the crease as making the save there was Lane.
Smart play by Forney to get in there. He was actually behind the goalie.
Now Meyer here all by himself, watched by 3 Wildcats, and just trying to keep the rush alive as Utah tries to expel this penalty that they're on in 3, 2, and now 1. And a shot here by Lieberknight, glove down with 30 seconds left. And this power play for the Utes.
Yeah, it's a much more puck control by the Utes here, despite the penalties. The last half of the first period and the first half of the second period here has pretty much been the Utes, other than the accidental 4-on-5 when Kendall had to come off the ice.
Omini here, the face-off win for the Utes. Barnes looking for a shooting solution. Out of West, change the angle. Circles back for the circle. Now Meany. Back to West. Was looking for a skate here, and he won in front. Meany with a shot! He scores! Meany was just looking for it, found his shot, just sent it home.
Yeah, Kyle was trying to say goalie interference, but I couldn't see that. Maybe he felt something, but again, he got moved way out of position and it gave an open net on that side.
2-1 for the Utes after the Connor Meany power play goal.
It was a good response. Good response going down by having it tied up. Come back and lead the game 2-1 with 22 shots against 14 for Weber.
Well, tied up here at the circle, and now it goes deep is Kronberg. Corner here played back now. Shot goes to the D. Maybe Weber State being a little too patient after giving up the go-ahead goal to the Utes. Into the corner goes Kwanberg. Up the half boards, that is Hobbs.
This is a game that requires 60 straight minutes. It's a game of mistakes, and one of those mistakes is being too complacent and letting the play come to you rather than taking the play to your opponent.
Bridges there was trying to get the puck back there as he's walked. It looked like number 22 there. I believe that's Dakota Fox. Now back here, Weber State plays it, tries to get it out. Now Hughes almost sidestepped the defender there, where Bridges and Hughes go to work to try to get this puck back, and we're going to have a penalty here to Utah.
Yeah, Lane got a little aggressive there. He took exception to the guy keeping him up against the 93, keeping him up against the boards.
And it's a cross check.
No argument by Mr. Bridges.
Well, that is the third penalty for the Utes in this second period. And a kind of a second period that Utah struggled with the whole year, and something, Brett Hurst is making a point about it. They're on the long change, and they're not making life easier by going on the penalty kill.
Yeah, it's and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's aggression or mental mistakes. It doesn't seem to be a mental mistake. It seems more of a, as I said before, when you get emotional, reason goes out the window.
Well, a heavy collision there as Meyer had the puck. It was still at his feet. Cornelius now goes, and the Utes will just peel back here to get back on the kill. Cross check.
Might have been a message that the coaching staff sent to Weber. Let's get a little more physical to slow these guys down, because they are faster than us.
Now Pizarro up ahead. Pizarro now at his end boards as this was trying to get settled down there by Barnes. Now up the half boards to the corner. Shot here goes wide of the net, trying to get to the other side. And now it's Coleman. Back to Coleman. Coleman was looking for someone in that slot area. No one was there. Or I think he thought maybe a teammate would have been on the far side circle.
Yeah, they had two guys in the slot, but both of them were too low to take that upper slot shot.
Now back here for Weber. Up ahead for Capinos.
Yeah, this is on the penalty kill. You can even see Weber is not putting anybody in front of the goal. They're just not getting into the dirty areas of the ice.
Now goes Weber. Weber back up for Coleman. Coleman for Weber. Low angle shot here, just goes off the chest of Cody West. Now into the corner goes with 35 seconds left on this penalty. Shot here goes out of play off the netting, and I think it went off the stick as well.
Yeah, that one did come back onto the ice surface. It almost looked like it was going to fall behind the netting and the glass. What you can hear in the background is the raffle. You buy tickets, and we've got some great prizes out there for people to pick up.
Jay, you win anything?
I nothing that I need. I have more stuff than I can handle. At least I don't have a storage locker.
Do you know people have a storage locker?
I do know people have a full garage and a storage locker.
Oh man. Lieber Knight here just ringing around the boards and trying to get out of the zone, and doing a good job there before taking a hit was Brian Martinez. Now the other way we go with Alex King. Shot here looking for the near side post. Couldn't find it. It was a little bit wide, and King will just circle back around as the penalty expires. Now for Bridges off of his skate. Soccer for Barnes. Barnes just shot into a skate. Man, that hurt. Now Barnes is back ahead. King was looking for Meany. He was down low, and the puck's still below the line. Now with it is Johnson. Johnson being watched there by both Banks and Meany, and just trying to freeze it there. I believe they're just trying to work it out here, and the Utes are going to get a change.
Yeah, the ref is just standing there and says, nope, I'm not going to pull any.
Up ahead, shot here, and they say it's still out in front below the line. Now goes Birch, and I think the net is off its moorings.
Yeah, there's a good battle developing in the slot. There was a couple of pushes, a couple of cross checks, but everybody's wondering where the puck was because it was so high, and then the net came off its moorings.
Well, something we saw of a lot last week when Jamestown was in town.
Yeah, I'm not sure at what point someone's going to talk to the refs about these Wiley posts that once he puts it on his moorings like this, they actually have to squirt water on it. There's an active agent on the bottom of the post to try and anchor the post to the ice, and these guys just keep putting it on the posts and walking away, or skating away, I should say. That's not how the Wiley post works.
Face-off win here for the Utes. Now back to Gossaris. Now down low for Cornelius. Cornelius was trying to drop it from Meyer, but it was just a little bit off target. Now going in the corner was Birch. And see what's going on with the puck. It's still down low over by that door where the Utes come onto the ice. So plays ensue. Now digging it out is King, and he was looking for Gossaris, who he thought was on the point, but Gossaris a little bit more towards the middle of the ice. Well, Weber State was looking for a high stick here. Now Meyer will just ring it around the boards, looking for Cornelius, who's drifted to the far side. Into the corner play goes where Birch goes around there. Watched there by Aquino, who's trying to dig it out for Weber State. Now across we go. Nice glove there, and it just moved it off the target. Weber State was looking for maybe a 2-on-1, kind of turned to a 2-on-2 situation. Now Meyer into the corner with Gossaris as this one is just soccered down to the end boards. Good job there by, I'm going to say O'Brien, but O'Brien's not playing. That was Tyler Pindle who was on the play there.
Good to see him back on the ice because he came off in that here early in the second period.
And it kind of had a weird bounce. Now up ahead here for Tollett. Tollett couldn't settle it down and just tried to chip it up ahead where Tyler Pindle will go around and just get, oh, that's a high hit there. And here we go. Well, you can't really, you can't really defend the retaliation, but you know you can't also try to find the words. It was an unnecessarily high hit.
That was an elbow right into the chops.
Well, you can't really plead your case on a high hit like that.
No, you can't. Again, I do not understand those conversations, but you can't teach anybody.
I'm going to say that's Zach Tollett who's the guilty party on that. He's going to get sent for, we'll see, they haven't put the penalty on the board yet.
No, Larry Bauman, number 7 for Weber, was really, really hot. I'm surprised that based on the language he was using that he's not in the box also.
Probably just voicing his displeasure with the color of the refs' sweaters tonight.
Yeah, probably calling into question why he's wearing pink tonight, but it's for a good cause.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, it does make it a little bit harder too, because normally you see the referees with the orange armbands, and tonight they're not orange. So we'll see officially what the penalty is now it is being reported to the box. And
this time, both captains, ref is being patient enough to talk to him this time.
I'll go ahead and say this too. I kind of feel like Weber State is kind of the more physical of the two rivalries that Utah has between Weber State and Utah State.
I would agree with that. I think Utah believes they can skate to a win rather than be physical to a win. And I think knowing that, Weber's got to counteract that with some physicality in order to slow that down.
Well, that's not to say that Utah doesn't play physical when they play Weber State, but I just feel like there's a lot more cheap penalties and penalties that we don't need to have every time Utah and Weber State get together. And that's not saying it's just one team. I just think that's the pace of the play.
It's that, and there's also, he's going off for, I don't know if they're going to put 5 minutes up if you take him off the ice.
Well, the way he's reacting, I'm pretty sure he's been tossed. Well, here's the thing. When you get tossed for safety reasons, there's not a whole lot that you can really argue there. And that's one of the things that a lot of commissioners, a lot of heavy officiatings, hit to the head, concussion, of course, a big problem in hockey and in a lot of the collision sports that we see.
It's getting to the point where you have to protect the players. They even have protocols here for that to make sure that we actually get it. So it's a 5-2.
So it is a game misconduct to Zach Tollett. He's been disqualified from this game, but Tyler Pindle is going to get 2 minutes as well.
Now the refs are trying to figure out where they're going to have this face-off as who has the most egregious penalty. and they're going to bring it down almost like it was an offside. So it's in the neutral zone, but not at center ice.
So we're going to go 4-on-4 for the next, well, this is for the next 2 minutes of game time. And then it'll be a 3-minute power play for the Utes, and we'll see what happens as we go into the third period. So the plot thickens here as King takes it in, and West with a shot off a Weber State stick. Now going to the corner to play that is Brian Martinez.
Yeah, Braxton Hayward got into the shooting lanes, well coached.
Now Weber State goes trying to get it up, and tying the stick up there was Cody West, but it was also behind, and Connor Meany will be able to just circle behind his own net, gather some speed, and start this for the Utes.
Yeah, that stretch pass is pretty tough to take on, but I understand why they're trying to do it. They're trying to get ahead of that speed.
Now Meany still with the puck. Now just down low for Barnes. In front of the own net, in front of the net there, as now Liebernight will take it.
That's pretty frustrating when you see the puck right in front of you and you can't get your stick on it.
And Gossers going to have to go back and play this as Weber State will get the change. Now Gossers with speed. Up ahead. Into the slot there. Kind of went coast to coast with it. Just tried to play it up there into the slot area.
Yeah, again, that's when you have your back to the play, you just center it and see what happens.
Off the skate there now. Near side was Gossers going the other way from Meyer, and it went well over his stick as we go 5-4-3 to end the second period, and that is how this period will end, with Meyer taking a shot and a glove save there from Kyle Lane, as after the second period, the Utes get 2, Weber State gets 1, but one of the storylines that we're going to take into the second period after this 4-on-4 expires is that Utah has a 3-minute power play that they get, and now Weber State is a man down.
Yeah, it's a spirited period again, and the penalties came back. First period was only one bench minor, no player infractions. And again, that second period is something that the Utes need to work on, because as a faster team and a better shooting team, taking yourself away from the play is just hurting your team effort.
Yeah, and well, third period is kind of where the Utes come back. That's kind of been the storyline for them, like all season. Third period's kind of been one that they handle pretty well, and they do well. Well, after 2, it's 2-1 Utah, and we'll be back with the third period and some second intermission stuff.
All right, folks, give us just a second to get everybody off the ice, and then we do have the lovely and beautiful Crimson Ice coming out. And then I'll announce a bunch of other winners in the raffle once they're done. Welcome down to the ice for the lovely Crimson Ice, skating this evening, Bailey, Ashley, Bella, Brianne, Alyssa, Renee, Harley, and Megan. applause once again for Bailey, Ashley, Bella, Brienne, Alyssa, Renee, Harley, Megan. Thank you, ladies. We do appreciate it. All right, folks, we do have somebody coming out here on the ice. We got to cheer for this if you want t-shirts. I guess he's giving away t-shirts. Who wants a t-shirt? Who wants a t-shirt? Somebody wants a t-shirt. I want a t-shirt. The announcer wants a t-shirt. And there's another side here. Don't forget the other side. Don't forget, oh, come on. You're going to blow them all. Okay, now I finally remember that there is a second slide. Oh, okay, good. Look at the urn on that guy. All right, folks. I got a bunch of raffle tickets here. I'm going to try and spot them off the best I can. I apologize if this gets repetitive. 773533, 773533, 772792, 772792, 772954, 772954, 772860, 772860. 773017, 773017, 773338, 773338, 773610, 773610, 773418, 773418, 772636. 772636, 773431, 773431, 7725, correction, 2858, 772858, 772895, 772895, 773354, 773354, 773348, 77383348, 772892, 772892, 773535, 773535, 773058, 773058, 773475, 773475, 772938, 772938, 773308, 773308, 773188, 773188, 773446, 773446, 773617, 773617, 773614, 773614, 773352, 773352, 772621, 772621, and the last and final rapid ticket for the evening, 773400, 773400. I want to wish everybody good luck on their raffles.
And we'll welcome you back to the Salt Lake City Sports Complex for third period action between the University of Utah Utes and the Weber State Wildcats. You hear team president AJ Bolden's music, entrance music for the third period coming back on. But third period stats here as we go to the third period. 26 shots for Weber State, 27 for the University of Utah. Goals, we'll start first for Weber State. It was Troy Kwanberg with an assist from Zach Tollett in the second period for Weber State. That was their lone goal. For the Utes, it was Darren Banks, his third of the year, assisted by Tristan Liebernight. The second goal was Connor Meany, and he was assisted by Cody West. That was Connor Meany's third goal of the year as well. So both Banks and Connor Meany getting goals number 3 for this 2017 season. But I guess the bigger story if you're Weber State is a disqualification of Zach Tollett, which generated from an elbowing call that was deemed dangerous and probably appropriately so by this officiating crew. He got a elbowing call that turned to be a 5-minute major and the 10-minute game misconduct.
Yeah, I think he got took a little exception to what was going on with that call, and then we ended up with a person in the box, but it's going to result in a 3-minute power play score at will, because even if they were to score in the 3 minutes, the penalty stays up until 3 minutes is officially done.
Well, Tyler Pindle will first have to serve his 2-minute penalty for unsportsmanlike with 17 seconds, and then we'll go into this 3-minute power play that was assessed to Zach Tollett. Face-off win here for the Utes as Alex King will just circle us back, try to kill as much of those 17 seconds before Pindle will hop on the ice. Meany goes into the corner. Watch here by Jake Weber. Now goes King with a short side, and a pad save there by Lane. Blue line just goes in the corner as Barnes was just having some trouble settling a puck with his freshly shaved ice. Now he does settle this one down. Barnes through the legs of Zane Hobbs. Now up, kind of bounced off a couple of Weber State sticks and almost on target. Now West had that puck intercepted. It was an easy read there by Chance Aquino. Now Aquino, who was trying to split the Utah defense, and on a clean sheet of ice in his own end, will have this one swiped off his stick.
We just want to make sure that we don't take a flagrant foul and unnecessary penalty here. Just keep skating. Bring the play to Weber.
Well, we don't want any incidents like the Warriors Washington Wizards incident that's happened earlier tonight. Bench clearing brawl.
Yeah, a couple ripped jerseys.
Sponsor free tag in there for Nike as they are the official sponsors of the NBA. Play goes in the corner here at number 37. That is Joel Johnson into the corner. Now played back. So Utah with 2 minutes left on this power play as Birch goes into the slot. Had that one sticked off. Now Birch recovers. Now back down. Looked like for Barnes. Behind the net goes for Cornelius.
Get a change on the ice here.
Now for Bridges. Bridges had fanned on the pass. Now to the end boards. Bridges again with the puck. Down low. Goes far side for Cornelius. Just looking for that one opportunity. Now Meyer for Liebernight was miscalculated pass there as Liebernight was looking to pound it home. Now for Cornelius, a shot here. Pad save there, and Liebernight shot high, glove down, still in front. And a scramble, and now play is halted as grabbing the puck was Kyle Lane.
Yeah, that puck whistled in there. Tristan had a wide open net there, but really didn't expect that pass, and it ended up in his feet. And having that puck in your feet is a really bad feeling when you're a player. You don't dare look down. you know it's down there. You can feel it with your skates. You just got to figure out how to kick it forward or backwards so you can see it again. But just you don't want to look down when someone wants to take your head off.
So it's going to be. Looks like it's going to be Meyer, West, Meany, King, and Banks the line with 1 minute left on this power play.
Got only one defenseman out there. They want to put the put this game away with a 2-goal lead.
Face-off win here for Weber State and in the feet, and this one is backhanded, still in the Utah zone now with the puck played by Pizarro, and he does get it out as he ices it the length of the rink. 45 seconds left on the Utah power play.
You know, we were talking about the unwritten rules, and that's another one of those things in hockey. It's those superstitions. As everybody says, the hardest lead to hold is a 2-goal lead.
And West here from the blue line. Now back for Birch. Birch looking for Banks. What a save here, and wide was Barnes on the rebound. My goodness.
Just couldn't lift it high enough over the pad. Another 3 inches, and that puck goes right over the puck into the back of the netting.
Oh, good opportunity here. Barnes decides better. It now skates, takes a couple of whacks of the stick, and still dug in there with 1 second, and a goal! And it is a power play goal with 1 second left, and the Utes take a 2-goal lead, 3-1.
It's exactly what we wanted. Traffic around that net, lots of sticks, lots of legs, and just snuck right underneath there. Took a while for us to see it go across the goal line, but there it was.
And a 2-goal lead for the Utes as they do end up scoring on the power play with 1 second left, so it does go as a special teams goal. And now Weber State now back 5-on-5 as turned over, well, kind of just a loose puck in neutral ice. Now back going the other way was Kapanos. Now Weber Knight try to bank it off, and it does go far to the Weber State defense.
It's a good play at no icing.
There's Belknap, who does play it ahead there for Kapanos, who did come out of the box. Now going back goes Weber. Weber trying to bank it off the boards, was looking for Larry Bauman. Now Weber Knight goes behind his own net. Now for Kudar, who just guides it up ahead for Jack Sewell. Sewell will just dump this one and give chase as going back to play this is Belknap. Now Chow. And play now comes out in the neutral ice. Hughes with some speed, going to try to take this one in himself, and does. Gains his own, just shoots it wide, was trying to possibly look for a Utah stick as attacking the slots were the Utes. Now soccered up ahead and into center ice as Gossers will just play it back for Chow. Clear the zone where Weber plays it back. And gaining the zone here is Kronberg.
Just didn't have enough muster on that play to get it over to number 93.
Now Gossers puts on the brakes and comes back the other way and had that puck stolen by Kosman. Now Chow, sticked off there by Hobbs, and now they do come out of the other end where Sewell try to get by a defender, and the Utes play this one off sides.
A little anxious, but that's what you want. You want people to want that puck.
And immediately here, we've already seen 10 shots in favor of the Utes here in only the first 4 minutes and 49 seconds of this third period.
Win the face-off.
Face-off win here for the Utes, and off the stick, this one goes back. Fornelius gives chase. Looking for someone in the slot, found a Weber State skate, and now Chow plays it back where Fornelius was looking for it. Was watched there by a much taller Chance Aquino.
I think Tyler, no, I'm sorry, not by Kyle Lane. I think he was a little concerned about that because it came right through and hits those skates and has no idea what's going to happen with it.
Now Barnes, stretch pass here, was looking for Meyer. Now finds Fornelius off of his skate. Just trying to get this down. Now Barnes does settle in it. Now looking far side for Meyer. Shot! Scores!
Boy, Barnes, he's seeing eye puck. He's put it right onto his tape.
What a goal here for Meyer. Meyer on the board extends this lead to 4-1. That is Myers. We're trying to find it here on our sheet. That's Myers' 5th of the year. And extends the lead to 3 here late in this game.
Well, we got away from that phantom 2-goal lead. Gary Phantom 2-goal lead.
I don't believe the saying is a 3-goal lead the way the NHL's rules are written. Now Pindle goes back, plays it into the corner, tries to just bank it out, and does. Now back, Jake Weber. Tyler Pindle. Up ahead, and it does. Weissing waved off as it went off a Weber State player. Now King goes with Weber.
We want those battles on the boards.
King with a shot here goes wide of the net. Now Lieberknight will activate from the point.
Got stick checked at the last minute, deflecting it wide.
Darren Banks in front was looking for Meany, who was in the slot. Now coming back the other way and trying to sock right up ahead is Tom Simpson. Simpson there with 3 Utes there. Only one teammate who was Joel Simpson. Now up ahead for Haywood. Haywood, Simpson now back up for Bauman. Bauman with a shot here, went off a couple of skates and wide of the net.
Now off blocker side in the corner.
He'll give chase far side corner, plays it at the half boards. Tries to generate, but just trying to get this one out and decides to put on the brakes as Weber State goes for a change. And up ahead, and this one will go. No Weissing here as Lieberknight played it on the offensive half of the red line. Now Hughes trying to get this one forward and then delivers a pretty vicious check there. Into the corner goes Bridges. Bridges rubbed off there by Kapanos. Got to the point where Gossrich just sends it, and it was deflected down and almost on target.
That was a good play. Just send it in goal. We had traffic in front.
Now Hughes now going the other way is Belknap. And this one befuddled, and it's a hand pass here. And a couple of words being exchanges, and maybe just trying to see, hey, do you like that the no cage? You like the plastic mask, visor? How's that working out for you?
I like to wear the white cage, just as long as we got the white helmets.
Just making sure their equipment worked properly.
Yep, eye for an eye, like I always say. One thing, Boz, that I always notice and I always tell people, it's such an easy game to play from up here in the stands.
It really, really is, yeah.
You see all the lanes, you see all the seams, you see everybody down on the ice when things are moving lightning speed. You got milliseconds to make a decision, otherwise somebody's going to smack you.
And this one does go for icing against Utah. One of the things that, remember listening to Steve Young. I kind of grew up as a football guy being out in the Bay Area, and, Steve Young had one of the hardest jobs when I was growing up playing at Candlestick, notorious for just wins that swirling wins. Yeah, that's what they are known for. And one of the things that he always said was, receivers always wanted the ball half when they were all the way across the field, and that was almost an impossible throw. But as soon as Steve Young retired and saw everything, bad save here by Casper. But Steve Young always mentioned that everyone's open up from the press box. Play here and look out in front of the bench there. A couple of sticks flying around, and Weber State here trying to get something going for them. Kornberg now up ahead here for Haywood. And a save by Casper, who had it in his pads as we go with 12:04 left in the third. But hey, everyone's open up here.
Yeah, you can see, as I say, you can see all the seams, and it's a very easy game to play. I even tell that at my company when the board gets on us. It's like, it's always easy to play from the board seats.
A little bit Monday morning quarterbacking, I believe the term is.
Yeah, there's everybody seems to be able to do that or want to do that.
And Lieberknight behind his own net just dropped it here, and kind of a late break on it was Pendle. And I think Banks and Pendle were trying to communicate who was going to take it. Now Banks eventually did have it. And a nice head play there by Lieberknight, but almost headed it into his own goal.
Yeah, the soccer play. Bounce it off your noggin.
Yeah. This one is gloved up here. Active gloves here for Utah tonight. Now for Banks. Shot here! Score! What a shot!
Right up over the shoulder. Short side high. That was a rifle shot.
Banks is second of the game and I believe fourth of the year. Makes it 5-1 in favor of Utah. Talking about that, I think we both saw that shot open up here.
Yeah, you could see that it was complete lane all the way to the net, left that whole short side open. Yeah, easy.
Yeah, and I mean, not a whole lot that Kyle Lane could do with that shot. It's one of the toughest ones for goalies to stop.
Yeah, he's not happy with himself. He actually went over to the bench, and I don't think he was apologizing. I was thinking he'd say, how come my defense wasn't on that puck?
Move that away. A couple of Weber State players back behind as Otto Chow tries to weave through a couple of defenders. Now he actually does get rubbed in the board and stopped. Now back in the corner goes the play as Belknap goes D-to-D pass. Up here off the boards, just right by Cahill, going back as Gossaris. And does win the race, and Weber State has iced the puck.
Yep, back on the bench. Yeah, again, this is something that everybody needs to learn in this game. And again, the linesmen never went over to the bench to keep anybody from coming back on the ice. Their job in an icing, one is to call the icing and skate down and make sure who made the stop. The other one is supposed to go over to the bench side and make sure that nobody cheats.
Well, they still have problems with that. The NHL does as well. So, I mean, it's not something that we'll probably see fixed rather soon. Something that might take a while to fix. And up ahead off the boards goes this play. Stick check there. Now back to the stick.
Lakota, that's Coleman. Nice skating there and protecting the puck. Did you see how he moved his body between the player and the puck?
Yeah,
that's a nice play.
Good positioning there. Going back the other way goes Barnes. Barnes in front, looking for a short side goal here. Stick tied there is Hughes now for Kudar. And West just gets this one deep and hops off the corner for Kudar. Kudar had this one sticked off of his own stick now for Barnes.
Yeah, Kudar was making a play for the net and forgot something. It's called the puck.
Now Barnes behind his own net. Plays it for Kudar. Excuse me, that was West.
Yeah, West is in his sophomore year. He was a great addition to that back end for Utah.
Now Fornelius goes for Barnes, and Barnes had that one kind of hop over a stick. Probably some snow buildup behind the own net. Now Fornelius head up there just to avoid the hit. Now up from Meyer, who had it banked off the boards. Meyer goes with speed behind his net into the corner and rubbed off there by Weber. Back in front of his own net was a Weber State player, and into neutral ice this goes. Back to Aquino. Now to Meyer. This one is backhanded out, and Pendle will skate back and get this. Watch there by Bauman as Bauman decides to peel back off for the change. Now Birch rubbed off there by Fornelius. Puck still in the zone, hasn't cleared it, now does.
That would have been an offside.
And now Birch, far side here for Meyer. Meyer shot off the blocker and in the corner. That was headed for the corner. And Birch now picks it up. Fornelius behind the net, looking for someone there. Still no one there. Fornelius now takes out in front. Now for Crash King, and roping that was King.
That was heads up play by Forney. He kept his head up, making that circle, kept looking for somebody. He caught King's eye. King went right into the paint, and no chance. No chance for Kyle.
Alex King, fourth of the year, makes a score 6-1. And this lead has quickly ballooned, and I think something that, I mean, we kind of expected Utah to do this, and that's not to say they kind of needed to wake things up a little bit. This Utah team did.
Yeah, they doubled the shots on goal, and these last 5 minutes, Weber's just literally backed off. And I don't know if we took the spirit out of the team, but they have backed off a lot.
Was it a good job by Utah to convert on that 5-minute major that was called against Zach Tollett? No, Meany being just rubbed off there by...
Being held.
Yeah.
He was being held.
Among other things, but I don't want to say the refs with a score the way and being the way the score is, are just going to let that one go. This one does go deep.
Yeah, they're more interested in making sure this game doesn't get too physical.
Well, and also make sure that players on both teams are able to play next week. Of course, going with that schedule, Utah a trip up to the #1 ranked team in Division I in Minot.
And back to Jamestown. They'll see Jamestown and Minot on this trip.
So get some momentum going, and it's going to be a penalty against Weber State. Kind of an easy one there, as it is a trip against Weber State. So Utah goes back on the power play with 7:40 left.
Yeah, and defensive, the Weaver player that was slightly soft. The player's coming in trying to jump over his stick, but didn't jump quite high enough. But anytime you get the sticks between the legs and you call the X, they're going to call that.
Yeah, and so it's going to be 2 minutes for tripping, and we'll see if Utah can expand this lead to 5-1, or excuse me, 7-1. Put up 5 goals here in this third period. That's what I was looking for. Now Meyer from the top shoots it, and it goes wide of the net. It's a good screen in front there. I believe that was
Lane. He was looking
Lane
for
Bridges.
Lane's stick. He wasn't trying to put it on goal. He was trying to get Lane to put his stick down.
Now goes Birch. Birch behind his own net. Now up. Meyer walking toward the middle of the ice and kind of floats that way. Now back to the side. Back to Meyer, who's up top. Meyer was looking for Fornelius' stick, and it was just returned right back to Meyer, and Meyer will just have to skate out as the Utes will have to regroup. Now up for Bridges.
I know this is the power play, but you can tell not only with the lead, but with the confidence that's building on Utah, the game slowed down for them a lot. They're seeing everything. They're being very, very patient, not gripping the stick. They're seeing the seams.
Well, I mean, this Utah team was playing well in the first period, just not getting the goals that they wanted.
Yeah, the bounces, we've had trouble getting the bounces our way. I think we might have, coming up on Halloween, maybe we got the hex off the puck finally.
Well, there's always some weird things that happen with the Halloween games, or the games around Halloween.
So, Boz, what's your costume going to be?
Well, yeah, I kind of went with a Harry Potter costume. At work, we had the Halloween theme, kind of just that weekend. A lot of companies deciding to go with a company party this Friday instead of doing it midweek on a Tuesday.
Yeah, our company has 80s rock bands.
We're going as here we go. So Weber State kills off this penalty. I don't know if you want to tell the viewers what that picture was.
Well, actually, I don't have the makeup on, but I've decided to go as Alice Cooper.
Yeah. Well, Yusuf eyes the puck, and kind of getting tangled up there was Jake Weber and Anthony Kudar.
The interesting thing is, I think half the office is not going to even know who Alice Cooper was when they show up. All born after the 80s.
Oh man, work with a bunch of youngins.
Well, we're a tech company, and that's what we need. We need that youthful thought process and that energy, and it's a great mix. We're having a lot of fun.
Speaking of the youth of this team too, a lot of underclassmen playing in this game as well. Just get some experience here for the Utes, but also maybe get some lines a little bit more comfortable with each other.
Yeah, they did mix up all the lines tonight except for the top line, and the first period kind of showed a little bit of individual play as opposed to team play. So Cahill's without a stick. Is that Cahill or?
Yeah, well,
no,
that's
that was
Bridge.
West.
Yep.
That was West.
You don't really see a whole lot of defensemen without a stick. A whole lot. Now shot here covered up by Casper. As a couple of Weber State players were coming in. Then making sure that he's using some Febreze on his glove. He gets it up in a couple of players' cages.
That would actually be a pretty good idea. You know, when you're playing, it's not noticeable. When you're around hockey players, it's not noticeable. But you step away from the game for a little while, and it's pretty ripe in that locker room. You can't watch this equipment.
I've actually heard of some players actually washing equipment.
Well, you know, when we lived in California for 6 years, the idea was to put it in your swimming pool and let the chlorine take away. It actually was very effective, but it only lasted a couple of years because the chlorine was pretty harsh on the some of the padding and the foam.
Back goes Weber State, and here play up as the Utes are offside and have to get back on. Now back goes Aquino. DD pass here for Belknap. Play still in the Utah offensive zone. Now the puck does come out to the center ice, now played by Bauman. D to D pass for Aquino, and Aquino will send this up here for Hobbs.
Almost a delayed change by Utah gave Weber an opportunity to enter the zone pretty cleanly.
Some stick checking going on here. Now Meyer gets it up for Chow, and Chow had that fought off of his stick. Aquino just thought about firing it in, and offside goes Weber State. And you also have an open chance to get this one out of the zone. Now Meyer has Weber State on a change. Meyer was looking for Fornelis on the pass, but
tried to do the toe drag and pull it over and pops out of the zone.
Now Barlocker had that one, tried to keep it in. And this one just sent in deep, and having to make the pad save there was Lane. Now Aquino had his stick lifted there by Birch. Fornelis into the near side corner, and back goes Warnocker.
Yeah, they're not trying to leave a sleeper behind the defense anymore. They're staying in their zone. Weber is.
Shot here was looking short side, now cleared out, and off a Weber State skate. That was Lakota Coleman. Utah's offside, so Meyer had to hold up at the blue line before going in.
Get a change up here by Utah.
Both teams looking for a change here. Off the stick of Coleman. Kind of lazily just played up ahead, where Bridges was able to corral it. Now Coleman just skating around. Aquino behind his own net. And Weber State just having difficulty now getting in their own offensive zone with possession. Lieber Knight just circles back, and he's rubbed into the boards there by Pizarro. Now Lieber Knight.
He's drafting.
And Utah's offside as Hughes was, maybe Hughes was probably a foot offsides.
Tristan was, who was that, number 30? I don't know, drafting along that. Number 37, Joel Johnson just went for, tugged on his shirt tails and got pulled into the zone with him.
Face-off win here by Sewell, and Pindle will just get this one deep. 2 minutes left in this game. Play goes in the corner, and off the net. The play there by Reed Hunter. Chow in the corner. It's kind of hooked down there. Just laying on the ice was Chow. Now play goes back in the corner. Sewell watching Martinez. Because now the goal is just to get out. Now Chow, a shot here. What a save by Lane.
Can't tell who's in there. It looks like a rugby scrum.
Yeah, it really does. Everyone is in there. There's a lot of pink in there. I can tell you that. Helmet comes off. That's a Utah helmet that came off. Well, this is one of those where if you're a ref, you're just telling players to roll off.
Yep. They're trying to get them to release their grips.
Well, it looks like Cahill, he's going to be taken to the box.
Might be taken off the ice.
Yeah, probably with 1:44 left. Yeah. So it's Hunter who's going to be taken off the ice. So Hunter goes off, and that's going to be number 24, Braxton Haywood, who's also going to get called.
Well, I actually thought that everybody was just going to skate this one down to the end of the clock, but knowing how these teams have always played, the last 2 minutes, whoever down is always sending a message.
Yeah, well, 1:44 here, and if you're Utah, just make sure everyone can make the trip and play up at Minot. And if you're Weber State, just make sure that you can go in See right here is Brett Meyer and Jake Weber just having a chat with the officials. You know the officials, I mean, they want to make sure that everyone plays next week.
Yeah, they're just trying to explain, and everybody's pleading their case, but there's no democracy down there. There's going to be a jury. The final say as the ref, right or wrong, it's the ref's game right now, and they're trying to make sure that it doesn't get out of hand, which is the right thing to do at this point with a 144 and a score 6-1.
Well, shots 2-1 here in favor of Utah, so it's going to be a 5-minute penalty to Reed Hunter.
5-minute major and a 2-minute minor to Braxton Hayward. Down at the bottom of the pile were both of those gentlemen, and apparently Mr. Hunter might have said some colorful metaphors to get an higher number. Maybe that's what Meyer was talking about. He doesn't understand why you can get tossed on a 2. He's probably asking why it's 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's more implications when it's a 5 and you get sent off the ice.
Yeah, technically, I believe he's not allowed to play the next game.
Yeah. Now you get ejected from one game, you're suspended from the next. So we go 90 seconds left as Kudar tries to go by 4-on-4 hockey for at least the rest of this game. Unless Weber State can mount 5 goals in the next 75 seconds. Weber State going the other way here. And looks like blowing a tire there was number 37, Joel Johnson.
That was a fighting major for Hunter. First one I've seen all year.
So now up ahead. Casper comes out of his own net and just plays this behind. Looking for, it looked like Barnes. Now Chow into the offensive zone. Looking for a wraparound there. Didn't get it as it sailed way past the net and almost up to the blue line.
Turn that top hand the wrong way and the blade opens up and puck will sail right off your stick.
Well, stick handling there is Pizarro. Pizarro looking for his teammate down low. Couldn't find him as he was being watched by a Utah player. Now up ahead, and this will go for icing with 15.7 left.
There's a couple milliseconds there where Hughes thought about beating out that icing, and 15-7, that's a much smarter play as he does to just let the puck go.
Tie up there for Utah, and it's going to be Barlock who just rings it around the boards and out to neutral ice and trying to get that back in, but Hughes deflected it. Peralta is just hip checked off the puck as Chow down low now has it. And up ahead for Liebernight, and that will do it for the game. A 6-1 victory for Utah, right back in the win column. And if you're Brett Harris, got to be pleased with the effort. However, you do lose a player for the game next week.
Yeah, that's with the injuries, taking a healthy person off the ice is going to shorten things up even more. And as you know, Utah no longer has what they call a practice squad. They just carry extra players on their roster to feed the system both for injuries and to substitute based on their skills for games. So 28 people rostered, and when you've got 4 of them hurt and 1 down 5, that's you're going to Minot and Jamestown with a lean crew.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think the most important thing here is that Utah's come out with a win. And something that they were hurting very dearly for is just get back in the win column, and their record comes back. They are 4-8, and they face a tough road trip coming up.
They do, but this is going to put their chins up and be able to hold their shoulders high going in knowing the win. Now they know what they have to do. And what's interesting, Jamestown, for the skills they have, they were not any faster than Utah. So if Utah can get their legs under them, get their speed going, if they can play a simple game, just play a north-south game up at Minot and play a trap game, they could make it very difficult for both Jamestown and for Minot.
Well, one of the things that Utah is going to need to work on, something that Reardon said today, was staying out of the penalty box during that second period. Problem that Utah has had all year, and Brett Hurst has made that known and very clear to his team, is that they have to stay out of the box for that second period. But the most important thing tonight is the fact that the University of Utah has won their matchup against in-state rival Weber State rather convincingly.
Yeah, it's the second time, first in their own barn, down to they won by 1 goal up in Weber State, and so good for the home crowd here to pull off a win in such a great cause, such a great game. Bridget Bertinoli and her whole crew, huge shout out to her. 6 years in a row putting this on, absolutely outstanding.
Well, I mean, it kind of more home games now that we've come past that the East Coast road trip for the University of Utah, kind of the trials of being an independent in Division I hockey. Nice thing here is they'll go on the road, and they're right back here 2 weeks later playing the University of Arizona on November 10th.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Boz, you and I will be here, and again, being in this rink, I think, is really good for this team.
Yeah, so, hopefully this will get the Utes kicked off on the right foot, a good effort, maybe a win against the #1 team in the country in Minot. And we just want to thank everyone for joining us during this broadcast here for Cancer Awareness Night, Hockey Fights Cancer, at the Steiner Ice Rink. And, it was a great pregame production, a great cause. Everyone was here. Athletics took a part of it, with the Utah Spirit team being here, and also recognizing a couple of local survivors and battlers of this terrible disease.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody who listening to the broadcast, all of you at home who couldn't make it. Thanks for listening to us, and we'll catch you when we're back here in the rink.
I guess really quickly, I mean, we haven't done this for a while, and we didn't do it last week just because of it wasn't exactly a home game, and we had some other things going on that we needed to fix. But we haven't had a home game in over a month, and just want to ask you what you thought your player of the game should be.
My player of the game would have to be Meany. Again, Connor Meany got that goal, got the team really, really energized with that second goal, and I think from there it was all downhill for the Utes, and that was the spark they needed. He played a very physical game. Boz, what's your player?
I'm going to go with Darren Banks, got 2 goals. Kind of an easy pick, I guess, if it's out there, but I guess we shouldn't leave out Patrick Casper, who did make 20 saves on the night, only allowed 1 in, and kind of boosted his goals against average and also his save percentage tonight. So I guess, but my pick is Darren Banks, because you can't win a game if you don't score, and Banks got 2 goals. And I mean, not to say that they didn't need it, but the 2 goals alone would have been the difference tonight. So I'm going with Darren Banks, the forward out of Athens, Texas. So.
Well, it's a good pick because if this game would have been 2-1 or 3-1. There wouldn't be the confidence in the locker room that there is going on right now. When you put a spread up like this by 5 goals, you're right. Banks has a huge contribution in that.
Well, again, so what's on tap here for the Utes? We will. The Utes are traveling up North Dakota area. They're taking on Minot State, Jamestown, on that road trip, and they're right back here 2 weeks from tonight as they take on the University of Arizona in Pac-12 school play. As we come back. So we just want to thank everyone for joining the broadcast. For Jay Sewell, for their cameraman, everyone in production here at Utah Hockey. Boz Echevarri wishing everyone to have a good night.